to be at some point, whether it's butter knives or cheeseburgers for kids or stealing passwords and breaking into people's social media accounts to steal their nude pictures from young people and devastate their lives. Just the normal stuff that happens on no other college campuses. I haven't seen a head coach.
Got to be America's team.
And butter knives ever before. But it could have happened anywhere.
It could happen to anybody. I mean, it's not like they were looking to cheat or looking to ruin people's lives or looking to cause damage. I mean, they were just doing it to win football games. That's the thing.
So in the realm of what we know, Sharon Moore's a scumbag, right? Butter knives is the dregs of society. When you look at what Paige Shriver, his former executive assistant, is accusing him of, and Michigan essentially validated that because they fired his ass very quickly.
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim.
And then, of course, the truth really comes out because, Warde Manuel, he's a man of zero integrity and he's going to investigate. And I say all this, Warde Manuel still works. He's the athletic director at Michigan today, right now.
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
Paige Shriver's and Scumbag had a relationship for a number of years. And I would remind you, this butt on your screen, Mr. Butter Knives over here, has a family, he has a wife, he has kids. And in a statement, Paige Shriver's the former executive assistant. Her attorney says, quote, institutions entrusted with the education and safety of students and employees have a fundamental duty to ensure that power is never used to exploit or silence others. Well, I'm going to say, in my opinion, Michigan didn't really live up to that standard. As Shriver's attorney said, entrusted with the fundamental duty to ensure that the power is never used to exploit or silence others. I mean, like Matt Weiss breaking into people's social media accounts.
Oh.
And stealing their nude photos? Would that violate somebody's trust? Yes. Yeah, and then, sign stealer guy. But, I mean, they were just trying to fix a couple people's vacuums.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't send people out to other people's stadiums. He didn't pay them to videotape sidelines, and even though all that footage is already provided to you internally in the system, I mean, he would never do that. And
do you feel safe in a handshake line with Juwan Howard? I don't.
Be negative.
Yeah, I don't. Dude, do you understand how many things have happened that are awful and horrendous under Warde Manuel, who's still the athletic director at Michigan?
Somehow.
And now they're the mold and the death that hangs over Ann Arbor continues to infect its way down to Indianapolis, where Tony Petitti has his office, because now Chris Partridge, the scapegoat in his lawsuit, he says, the 46-page complaint filed in Eastern District of Michigan alleges Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti threatened to embarrass Michigan by publicizing information at a pending injunction hearing for former head coach Jim Harbaugh, and that Manuel offered to terminate Partridge to secure a resolution.
Pay that man his money.
So let me get this right. Chris Partridge, who we all believed played some role in that situation with sign stealer vacuum boy because, they fired his ass, now is suing because he was scapegoated because Jabba the Manuel, the scumbag who's still the athletic director at Michigan, allegedly traded the suppression of information for Chris Partridge's scalp. So they fired him, making him a scapegoat. And this is why the injunction hearing on Jim Harbaugh didn't go forward. And then Jim Harbaugh got a sweetheart deal from the Big Ten where he couldn't stand on the sidelines on Saturdays for a couple of weeks.
Keep it real.
Now, I could be wrong, but I think Paige Shriver's has no case, because that sounds like the textbook way that I would go about my fundamental duty to ensure that power is never used to exploit or silence others.
I don't get down like that.
That sounds like the gold standard for fiduciary responsibility.
I mean, these guys are just the shining example of what you should do, dude. These guys are just the shining example of, you know, how to tear people's lives down, how to ruin a historic football program, you know, how to absolutely torch your entire life and entire reputation. And by the way, I'd just like to give them credit. I'd like to give them flowers where flowers are due for their consistency in being scumbags. And because it's not unique to college, right? You look at the NFL report cards, Jim isn't actually isn't lighting it up with the players right now. The guy's been there 2 seasons and already has a C grade as a head coach. So we're going the correct direction for Jim, right? He's been consistent in being somewhere 4 years and then getting run out of there because the players hate him. So this guy's going to be out of college football. He's going to get fired inside of 2 to 3 seasons as the head coach of the Chargers. I have no question about that, based on the fact that he burns people out. And basically, you're just going to leave an entire wake in the football world of the stuff you did. And that's what I truly don't understand about these people, that they just go into a job, they burn it to the ground, and they leave. And they just keep doing that over and over and over again. And, you know, casual Michigan fan and Big Ten fan is going to want to say that, oh, well, it's not that big a deal. You need to let it go. Why are we still talking about this? What's the problem? And it's like, yeah, dude, we're still talking about it because it's not over yet. Fat ass is still your AD. You're still have done nothing about these guys. And now the problem is that this is bleeding into the commissioner's office because Tony didn't do anything about this. And this is exactly what I said at the time. At some point, this is going to come for Tony Petitti. At some point, Tony Petitti bears responsibility for what's going on at Michigan. At some point, the Big Ten's got to be held accountable for the ridiculousness and the absolute violations of people's livelihoods taking place at that campus. So
what do you mean that Tony Petitti bears responsibility for what?
You can't allegedly trade or make these type of backdoor deals to protect people, in my opinion. You can't go and say, hey, well, look, man, like, you know, to get this guy, like, he threatened information. He threatened to publicly release information unless they fired Chris. And now Chris is saying, hey, well, I wasn't implicated in some of this stuff. He is guilty of recruiting violations. We know that. That's documented public information. He got in trouble for that. The NCAA disciplined him for that. But Chris is saying, hey, like, I'm not in the rest of just this cesspool of horribleness that the rest of the program was. And the problem is that Tony didn't do what he should have done. Like, it's always these guys like Tony Petitti where it's like, hey, I want to do a deal or I want to try to leverage people instead of just saying, no, dude, like, I'm going to do this 100% above board, bro. Like, these are the facts. This is what we know based on our investigation and based on the evidence and the facts that we've discovered. This is the discipline. Why are we allegedly doing some kind of deal making or some type of behind the scenes stuff like that? You shouldn't be doing that, dude. You have them over a barrel, and now you have put yourself in a little bit of a precarious situation here, depending on what comes out is true or not true about what deals you did or didn't do. And that's what I just don't get about Tony, dude. You could have easily buried these guys. You could have easily just said, here's the investigation. This is the punishment. That's it. But you didn't want to do that. And I don't understand why you would muddy the water on this if you're a commissioner of the Big Ten. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. And you look at these images of Sharon Moore, and I think it just tells you, I mean, this guy had everything that you could ever want. He had a career, he has a wife, he has kids, and now he's got a record. And it's also easily preventable with any sliver of ethics. We're not having this conversation right now. But because Michigan is a bunch of scumbags with no ethics, we're looking at pictures of Sharon Moore and the cops. And the sad thing is, it almost doesn't matter, because you go back to the videos of Sharon Moore dapping up the court officers, and these guys always find a way to get off the hook. They always find a way to slip the hook. And I mean, you can't tell me Sharon Moore ever works in college football again. I'd have a hard time believing that. Stranger things have happened. Art Briles, right? Stranger things have happened. But at what point do you just take the cursory step of firing Warde Manuel? He's not even on leave. He is fully capable as an athletic director of doing anything he wants to do. He has a repeated track record of exposing his students and faculty to crimes and like criminality and crimes against their humanity.
Facts.
And he's still the athletic director at Michigan. And you read this lawsuit from Partridge. After reading it, and it's a lawsuit filed by his attorneys, so what would you expect it to say? Kind of sounds like he was a sacrificial lamb. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it sounds like Michigan knew they were in trouble, and they needed somebody. They needed a fall guy. So what did they do? They allegedly, according to Chris, again, allegedly, used him as a fall guy. And I just, the problem is here for Michigan, because it's two different conversations. It's different for Tony than it is for Michigan, in my opinion.
Yes.
For Michigan, the problem is that using him as a fall guy makes perfect sense, right? That's who you are as a university. Using him as a fall guy would be right in line with your behavior. It makes perfect sense. It fits your character and your personality and your behavior. We know the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So it would not surprise me if that's actually what took place. Now, I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me. And the problem is that, and this is really to me where the rubber meets the road for the conference. At some point, when you're the Big Ten and you're Tony Petitti and you're trying to negotiate with the SEC to move forward on a Super League and all these other football-related ventures that you're trying to get done to better your position, how does this not come up? If you're Greg Sankey, how are you not saying to Tony Petitti, dude, like, what's going on in your conference, bro? Like what are you guys doing about Michigan? By the way, what's up at Ohio State, right? Hey, by the way, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, those things have to matter at some point. Those things have to, it has to matter. Your integrity at some point matters, dude. Your character, your integrity, the way you do business at some point matters. And I'm just telling you that if it comes out one day in the future that Tony Petitti did the kind of deal or threatened the kind of deal that is alleged in this filing, you should just resign. Just resign now. Save us all the trouble, dude. You put yourself in a compromised position by trying to leverage private information and say you're gonna release it to the public if you don't do X, Y, and Z. That's not how you do business, bro. All you need to do is say, hey, we know what's going on here, dude. This is going to come out at some point. And when it does come out, you guys are getting disciplined. Like, why inject yourself in the middle of it, Tony? It's incredible to me that these guys have these posts in life and don't know what to do with themselves. That's what I would say to Tony.
I'm amazed by it.
How are you the commissioner and you don't know how to handle this stuff? How are you unprepared? How do you look at this and say, yeah, that's my strategy, dude. That's the best way to handle it and the best way to go about it? Don't know.
Don't know.
No idea.
Could not tell you. And the struggle for me is that this story is repeated in the Big Ten, across the Big Ten, Northwestern, Penn State, Michigan State, like just keep piling it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just, what's coming from Paige Shivers. You know what's coming.
Yes.
She's going to sue the University of Michigan.
And she's going to get paid.
And I really hope they force Michigan to go through discovery. I really hope, because I don't see any other way. Michigan, it should have been done already. You had accusations that continue forward, because there's other Paige Shivers out there.
100%.
With this, assistant coach, that Sharon Moore was essentially doing the same thing, allegedly, with this assistant coach, with the domestic violence and the "I need to get sucked" text message. This was pervasive, and there's accusations that say there was a culture of just heinous activity in that athletic department under Warde Manuel. What makes you think that has stopped? What don't we know about? What have we not shined light on yet? Because this is not the end. I am telling you now, this is not the end. It's the beginning. There's always more. There is always more. This is scratching the surface. And here we are.
And the thing I don't understand,
and Warde Manuel still has a job.
Why hire Witt and do that if you're going to keep Warde? Why do that? Why do that, dude? But why not say, like, all right, cool, like, we're going to go out and reset this program? Because you can't tell me that there's just, and this is, I've made this argument since like the first day the Michigan sign stealing thing ever even happened, dude. Like, you can't tell me that there is zero people at the University of Michigan who are not tired of this stuff, that who are not like,
how
hey,
could you
dude,
not be?
Like, how like, when are we going to stop? Like, when is this, when like as an academic at Michigan, I'm tired of hearing about the football program doing whatever they do that's illegal, and whichever story you want to point to. I mean, there has to be somebody there. And this is what was so outrageous about the board of directors person saying that she was just devastated and I just can't believe this. Like, come on, bro. You know who these guys are. And I guess I said it the other day when we talked about it, like last week or the week before. I'm just at a point where I'm like, dude, this is no longer just on Warde, dude. This is now on, like, I got to start climbing the ladder to like the chancellor, bro. Like it because you still, unless they didn't announce it publicly, you still have an interim as a president. You haven't even hired a full-time president again, I don't think. I'd have to double check. But there's just nothing positive happening here. There's no fix happening. And now Tony's implicated himself allegedly in this suit. So I'm just like, why is it so hard, man? Why can't we just run a reasonable football program?
And you have a lawsuit now in the Eastern District of Michigan accusing Warde Manuel of retaliation against Chris Partridge. That's what his lawsuit essentially says. I mean, you're looking at a lawsuit that seeks damages for lost wages, reputational harm, and emotional distress, alleges violations of the First and 14th Amendment, as well as claims of failure to train or supervise in retaliation by Warde Manuel. And he still has a job. He's not on administrative leave. He's not paid a financial penalty. Nope. This is Warde Manuel allegedly retaliating against Chris Partridge, who fully cooperated with the NCAA, according to this filing.
Which is what you should do.
This is the part that's really damaging. Partridge claims he fully cooperated with the NCAA, turned over work devices, testified at a June hearing in 2025, and was not punished by the NCAA's August 15th, 2025 infraction announcement. Yet he was the only one essentially fired related to that scandal. And yet it does not appear that he committed any of these most serious recruiting violations. Because remember, this isn't about sign stealer guy.
No.
Right? The allegations were in 2023, a player approached Chris Partridge and said, hey, I have to talk to the NCAA and I'm really nervous about that. And Partridge claims he told that player, talk to your parents about getting an attorney and be honest with the NCAA. Which is what he probably should have informed the player to do.
Yeah.
Get a lawyer and tell the truth. And Partridge says he was fired over this. He advised the player to speak with his parents, get an attorney, and just be honest with the NCAA.
And why? Because the truth is not kind to those other folks in the football program. So again, it tracks, right? This line of thinking. I'm a huge believer in this. Anytime you're doing lawsuits and suing people, what would make sense, right? Would it make sense that Michigan would not make him the fall guy and would not do any of this and would not try to lean on him? No, it makes sense that they would lean on him and get him out of there because he was allegedly trying to tell the truth and was advising kids in a responsible fashion. So what did they do? They moved on him. And I don't know, man. I think that I don't know that we've ever been in a place where we have to ask questions about like how a commissioner's involved or like the relationship between an athletic director and the commissioner of a conference or like what all that looked like. Because I remember on this show, you and I specifically talked about, hey, well, why is he only getting like 3 games? Why did Jim only get 3 games out of the Big Ten? Like, why was that the punishment? That seemed very light. It seemed very sort of blasé, passive, not trying to make a point. And that kind of, for me, lends itself to like, yeah, there was clearly a lot going on behind the scenes that I agree. I hope comes out in Discovery. I hope that one day we're educated on, hey, well, what all exactly happened? I hope that if what Chris is saying is true, if it's true, I hope he gets his day to tell the story because I do think the college football world needs to know it. And at some point, something has to be done to prevent crimes against people in college athletics. And I don't know. It's one of the issues in the system. There is essentially no oversight past commissioners. Like once you're at the commissioner level, there is no like, hey, I'm the god of college football and I'm going to come down and smack you if you don't get in line. There is none of that in college football. So, that's a huge problem.
Yeah, I don't know what to I don't even know what you do anymore. It's really this whole thing leads me to again talk about that Tony Petitti and the Big Ten are going to be a rudderless ship as long as he's in leadership there. Like it's why you don't have an agreement in place with the SEC. It's why we don't have an expanded college football playoff. It's why you can't seem to herd your cats in the Big Ten. It's why, in my opinion, the Pac-12 teams that have come into the Big Ten have been nothing short of disappointing. There's just not momentum in the Big Ten. If your name is not Ohio State, there's not momentum.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
And even Ohio State right now. I mean, I agree the football team still has plenty of momentum. There's no question. But even their president, and I agree that, hey, at least their president turned himself in and was accountable and removed himself
and immediately resigned.
And I agree that it was handled in a more professional manner. Totally agree with that.
Doesn't make what he did any better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's kind of my point is like, it doesn't change the fact that it did happen. It doesn't change the fact that you did have to resign. It doesn't change the fact that now Ohio State is out here trying to figure out what's going to be best for them moving forward. And even if they do find a great candidate that they want, and that they get, it still remains to be seen how they can operate moving forward. Because we know that the one thing that is very rare in college football is presidents who are aggressive and who do understand how to win in college football. Like, you have to have a president who gets it. And you had that, and now you don't have that. And it's just a difficult situation. So yeah, I would completely agree that I think that if we step back from Michigan and the individual programs and we just look at the job Tony's done, I agree with what you said the other day. It's not his TV deal. There's always been problems under him, and now he's struggling to put together, you want to call it a partnership with the SEC, or an agreement with the SEC to move forward. And
he has trouble unifying the front.
Yeah,
he has trouble. Like this tampering thing.
Yep.
Like the Big Ten is suspending tampering penalties essentially because they want to rework the rules. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? Help me understand it. Right? Like it is wild to me. That Tony Petitti in the Big Ten wrote a letter saying, quote, "I'm writing on behalf of Big Ten membership to insist that the NCAA immediately impose a moratorium on all pending and prospective impermissible contact tampering investigations, enforcement actions, and infractions proceedings by bylaw, blah, 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 related to provisions until the NCAA membership can comprehensively reevaluate these rules."
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So we're gonna make it worse. We're just gonna open the floodgates until you guys can get together at the country club and figure it out.
Until Warde Manuel is given the ability to make the decision. We need,
That's what I don't get. Like I don't understand. Like, I'm good if I, like, as someone who does a show, like, I'm cool if I just disagree with what someone did, right? Like, if I just across the board disagree with what you did, but what you did is getting you results and you're not in trouble and you're just like doing it a different way, I'm fine with that. But like, I really struggle to cope with the idea that this guy just seemingly doesn't know how to do this. Like, it does not make sense, just in the most basic logical form, to suspend the rules you do have until you can figure out new rules. That does not make any sense, dude. How does that work, Tony? How does that? I mean, because part of what the argument people are making, not just Tony, is that the rules currently lead to a lot of litigation, a lot of drama, a lot of billable hours, if you will. And to that, I say I agree with that. We've seen a lot of that, but you guys did this to yourself. So your answer to that is, hey, let's just suspend all discipline and all rules and all structure until we can figure it out. Yeah, because you guys move really quick. You're going to figure it out by tomorrow, right? That's going to take you guys like a year to figure out a new set of rules, dude. And then we're going to have another cycle and more drama and more issues. So that's where I say, like, it's the old thing on this show where we said, like, hey, like, you want freedom, you want these certain things, but then when you're in the middle of it, you don't like it. And I feel like that's what this is. You wanted NIL, you wanted transfer portal, you wanted flexibility for players, and now you don't like what that's done to the sport. Well, that's on you, bro. That's like, what are we supposed to do with that? What position am I supposed to be in?
I think it's comical that people will continue to defend the Big Ten as this elite entity and the best conference in college sports. It's just not that. It's not that. And I will continue to tell you that Tony Petitti is a feckless leader who has no ability to, again, herd his cats. So we're just not going to enforce rules against them.
Yeah.
I can't make them, or they won't, or we can't, or we're just going to stop.
Blah, blah, blah.
And we're going to ask everybody else to stop so that it doesn't look like we're the only ones stopping. Well, guess what? Like, you're the only ones trying to get away with what appears to be illegalities in tampering.
What has Tony done well? Can we even name something where we're like, yeah, he knocked that out of the park? I mean, is there like, I'm legitimately asking the question of, like, under his watch so far, has there been anything where you're like, yeah, man, wow, they really crushed that? Because I mean, expansion hasn't been great so far. Like, I mean, I guess they're winning in football a bit, like at the top end, but there's not really been the middle. The rest of the conference is what we always talk about. Like, he needs to win something terrible, and I don't know. I don't know where he's going to get that win, and I do think that at some point there's got to be. He either has to get on the right side of things and get forward momentum, or people need to stop criticizing Greg Sankey as the guy who should lead college football, because Greg hasn't had any of these problems. Greg is criticized because he's right and because people think that he's biased towards the SEC. But my question to those people would be, well, who else, or what other way do you want to go? We asked this question earlier in the week. Who else is more qualified than Greg? Like, who else has the experience? Who has the sway? Who has the track record of just doing business, man? Well, that's Greg. Tony doesn't have that track record. And as we detailed, Brett and Jim don't have the sway in the room, the pull in the room. So I just don't even think it's a conversation at this point with when you look at, the Big Ten struggles across the board in the conference, when you look at the fact that the TV deal is probably the last best TV deal, but it's not his TV deal. When you look at the fact that they wanted a free pass for the CFP and that was roundly shot down. When you look at the fact that Greg Sankey is dominating you in these conversations repeatedly over a long stretch of time under his watch.
Yep.
Like, I don't mean to sit here. Like, I didn't plan when I rolled up to the show today to just tear down Tony Petitti, but I don't really have another choice, dude. There's not really a lot of other things to say.
He is not responsible for where the Big Ten is, because he's not the one that negotiated the TV deal. He's not the one that I don't know what his list of accomplishments are. And I think when you look at the Big Ten is just existing. It is not leading or pulling anything forward in college athletics. It's not leading solutions. Again, as I told you the other day, the SEC and the Big Ten are talking again. You look at this idea that the Big Ten doesn't want to enforce rules. It makes me wonder, why does the SEC want to be in business with the Big Ten other than they have to be? Like, when you're a high operator like the SEC and Greg Sankey, and you understand that the SEC is not struggling to make money. The SEC is distributing, what was it, like $70 million per school?
Yeah.
They're not struggling to make money. They're doing quite well. Right? Like, and so when you're a high achiever like that, you don't want to be around low achievers. Right? Like, I don't know how you fix that until scumbags like Warde Manuel are no longer in place at Michigan, and feckless, poor leaders like Tony Petitti are no longer the commissioner of that league. Like, I don't know how. You have to make change to move forward. But people in organizations that struggle to make change. It's almost universal across the board. When you struggle as an organization to operate, it's usually because you struggle to make change. And that's the story of the Big Ten. It's why these scandals related to sexual abuse are pervasive throughout the conference. How does one conference have major scandals at its biggest universities, all related to sexual abuse? At Ohio State, at Penn State, at Michigan State, at Michigan. Your biggest universities, Northwestern. The bastion of educational awesomeness, Northwestern. How? And not just like, you look at the folks over on Epstein Island, Beaver. Look at Penn State. Look at those scumbags. They've had sexual abuse allegations across generations. They hired and then fired a football coach who had multiple allegations of sexual misconduct in his program and sexual assault in his program before he got there and while he was there. And you fired him because he stopped winning football games. Not because of the allegations. Not because he was meeting with witnesses in his car, allegedly. Like, it's because you can't change. You struggle and these things continue because you can't change. So look at the people in your life, and maybe I'm talking to you directly. Look at the people in your life or look in the mirror. Are you struggling to make changes that can help you? If you are, you're not going to advance and move forward. You're not going to improve your situation. Like, it's a story that's repeated throughout history.
Yes.
And the Big Ten is no different. The Big Ten is no different. All right, let's get your thoughts. What should the Big Ten do here? Do you believe that the Big Ten is doing the right thing by suspending tampering enforcement? I'm telling you, it's a massive mistake. Oh, look, TCU James insulting Jake. Good way to start your day, James. This will be fun. The vest came back. Must mean world pieces is next. That's right. World pieces.
The WAR is over. The show is going on, and we're all in a better place.
The WAR was won.
Oh, my bad. In the first hour. Yeah. So
right.
I mean, we've been in a good place. So
and oil prices are way down. Oh wait, no, they're over $100 again. Never mind. Anyway, I'm confused. Michigan legal bills could reach billions. Yeah, Michigan sees like the Pac-12's legal bills, and they're like, "Hold my beer." Let me introduce you,
brother.
Undefeated. Harbaugh is a multimillionaire. He should be buying big arches for those kids. Okay. Mikkel Schwinger, biggest dumpster fire of a program ever, Penn State level. Certainly it's Penn State level. King of Thailand, good to see you. Tom Dean, Michigan is second or third best finance program in the Big Ten. I'd protect the nest egg a lot better than this, you would think. Right? You would think you would be protecting the nest egg. But do you even?
No.
Need a flow chart? Khakis was just feeding hungry kids. That's just an act of kindness.
Yeah, dude. He was just, they were doubles. They had some fries. There was a little bit of ketchup on there. Like, they were good.
King of Thailand likes when we talk about Michigan, apparently.
A lot of people do. Michigan content does well on this channel.
Yeah. What a great day. Just joined the show, and UM and their friends are at it again. Not Jake out here giving flowers for consistent scumbag. Now Jake is out here giving flowers for consistent scumbaggery. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, dude. They're consistent. I admire their consistency, dude. Man, great job. Great job showing us how to be a POS on a regular basis.
Like the TV commercials say, pure Michigan.
So I said, yeah.
Truth. Teamwork, Sharon, does not mean starting your own team. No, it does not. Mike Smith, sorry to see West Virginia go down last night. Is that Warde Manuel in the white hat behind the young assistant in the photo? I mean, I guess it could be. It's not, but it could be. I mean,
no.
Is her life ever the same? Is that Connor Stallions behind her in the picture on the left? That's the real question.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Sharon and his wife. Like, if you're his wife, how have you not left him yet?
Don't know, dude. Don't know, dude.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? These are the pictures your kids are going to see and know their dad by.
It vexes me.
And here's his mistress.
Terribly vexed.
That's incredible. And I will never understand it. I will never understand. And if he has been abusive to other women, how is he treating his wife? I would assume not well. Matt Weiss lawsuits will be at least $1 billion. It's going to be a behemoth. Can you imagine? Because remember what Matt Weiss is accused of doing. The former offensive coordinator under scumbag Harbaugh. Matt Weiss is accused of breaching the social media accounts by breaking into a portal that stored that information, the social media accounts, I believe, of athletes. He then hacked into their social media accounts and stole their nude photos, allegedly, while at Michigan. I mean, what do you mean lack of institutional control?
It's
Listen,
not the best situation, and we all know that.
Connor Stallions was a lone wolf. Okay.
Hell no.
Settle down. God, I really wish.
You guys remember that, dude? When Michigan fan was in here talking about him being a lone wolf, that he was alone, and Jim doesn't have any oversight over that. And
Jim
dude,
didn't know.
how dumb do those people look now, dude? Like, how foolish are you, bro? Are you serious?
Jimmy didn't know. Listen, when you're buying this many cheeseburgers for this many hungry kids, you don't have time to figure out if they're selling vacuums on
Dude,
the
he's
side.
just so engrossed in all the blessings he's handing out. He would never steal signs or task Connor with that or read his manifesto or, I mean, come on, Jim's not that guy, dude. I mean, the khakis are creased. I agree. They look nice and they're prepared, but Jim would never scheme. He would never end people's lives or ruin people's lives. Come on, dude.
That wasn't Connor on the Central Michigan sideline.
Come on, dude.
Come on, dude. Come on, dude. You know, like the things that you have to overlook to be a Michigan fan.
Come on, dude.
How do you just keep going? How do you just keep overlooking? How do you just keep, yeah, but, and maybe, well, you know, lone wolf? Like how much?
Yeah, how much butting have you done over the last 5 years with Michigan, dude?
I mean, how much hallucinogenics are you ingesting
But
to
Monty,
live that life? In all seriousness, how much weed do you have to smoke? How much beer do you have to drink to get to a point where you're like, oh, this was not systematic. Connor was acting on his own. He was an obsessed Michigan fan. Remember that?
A lot.
Connor just loved Michigan, so he did
it out of the
everything
kindness
he
of his
could
heart,
do.
Monty.
You know, everything that he could do.
I mean, my God, like Connor is such a good person. He sacrificed. He put his heart and soul into this program. I mean, my God. I mean,
Michigan
I just want
is
to
the Block M. It's the Block M. That's why Connor did it.
Connor
as a lone
did it
wolf.
for the M, dude.
As
Gosh.
a lone wolf.
What a first of all, thank you for your service, Connor. But now, you know, for our program, you sacrificed and fell on the sword, and you're just the best, dude. Wow. Man. I mean, come on, bro. Like,
no, he
who-
did not. Tony Petitti had nothing to do with the Fox deal.
what? You're not seriously saying this, James.
Yes, he is. He is. He is. Mistakes abound in this new era of college football, seriously. Mistakes abound. How does Warde Manuel still have a job? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how Job of the Manuel's still in that chair, dude. Don't get it.
It was the biggest pack of lone wolves ever. Wolves run in packs. Harbaugh, Connor Stallions, Sharon Moore. Mike Gundy, Ollie Gordon. Michigan fans are the biggest clown fan base. The ones who support Jim Harbaugh certainly are. You know, the Lone Wolf Manifesto. Did they ever find out who forged Blake Corum's signature to go into the vacuum cleaner business with Stallions?
Oh, I think they know, but that's not been publicly released.
Well, there's no LLC. They dissolved it.
Present.
We would never go into business with a
What?
coach and a player. That'd be an NCAA violation. At Michigan? No.
mean, you guys remember the let me see if I can find it. The porch picture with all the vacuums.
All
you guys remember that?
All the vacuums on Connor Stallion's porch that he was repairing. You know, look, we're trying to build a side hustle that'll create freedom for us to have another manifesto written, because that takes time. You know, like, that's incredible. Connor did it for the M. Sharon did it for all the nookie.
Dude.
The nookie. There it is. Yes, there it is.
Look at this. Look at this. Like,
and there's the tarp covering the dead body in the back of the truck, allegedly.
Like, dude.
Look at that house. You can't tell me. That is the Amityville horror house. That is the house. Like, if you walk into that house, there's cat feces everywhere.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
Right.
That is a really rough look, dude. Like, I get it. You weren't home very much because you were out manipulating the world.
No, he was writing a new manifesto, Jake.
But holy crap, dude. Like, my God. Do
you think he was repairing vacuums, or was Connor if this is truly Connor's house, are you saying that he is a vacuum repair salesman, or do you believe that he's just a hoarder and he likes to sniff the canisters of people's used vacuums?
Bro.
I mean, it's possible, isn't it?
This is just a really sad state of affairs.
Bro pops open the shark and just starts, huffing all the dust and dog hair and dirt and grime that's in that thing.
He wants to smell your skin cells.
Bro, that is nasty work, dude. That is, bro.
Come on.
But
dude.
would it surprise you would it surprise you if that was true?
No.
Where's the evidence that you repaired a single vacuum? Sir, is that somebody else's skin flakes on your nostrils?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, look. Welcome to the Nightmare's got a good point here. Maybe Connor is a rim cleaner. You're totally right, dude. He could very well be a rim cleaner, dude. There's no question about it.
There's no reason to bring that up.
Kitty cat juices is not all over the place.
I mean, I don't know why we would, go and still one of the best moments in the history of the show.
Oh my God.
Did you guys see this Urban Meyer bite? No, I'm never living it. Marcus says you're never living that down. Listen, I'm not trying to live it down. I am here to bring you guys joy and happiness.
This season as a failure?
Yes, that was a failure on my part, but it brought you joy and happiness that I clean rims daily.
We're in a control position.
That was about cans of Monster and not just pulling one off the shelf and, getting everything that's in the rim.
I don't know if
clean your rims, boys.
I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
And if you need your rim clean, don't come over here. But
the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
I'm just telling you right now, when you drink out of an aluminum, have you ever looked at the rim of an aluminum can?
Yeah, an aluminum can. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you look at those aluminum cans, you got to make sure that rim is clean, because I am telling you, the rims on those aluminum cans are disgusting.
Because it's garbage.
And Jake's the guy who'll just crack that open like it's fecal matter.
I'm gonna Connor Stallions that thing.
Because Jake is the guy that'll eat off a food roller. That is his preferred nutritional plan. 7-Eleven, taquito, what could possibly go wrong? If you look at all the different scenarios in life and you look at all the decisions you make on a daily basis.
Crack, ice, boom, pow.
Don't go around railroad gates, right? Don't
let your Tesla drive through a railroad track,
Don't do the fentline, none of that stuff. But it's okay to eat fecal matter off of a roller at a 7-Eleven. That's the life that we live in this world. Well, Jake lives in this whole thing that we call life on the Monty Show.
Right.
Yes, he did. Marcus is like, Jake didn't seriously eat taquitos off a roller. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I did one time. I
yes,
tried
he
it.
did.
I
It's
tried
not
it one time. Yes, it is.
Look,
Yes,
Connor,
it is, dude.
it was, you were no lone wolf. That taquito was no lone
Dude,
wolf.
I was.
You
I
throat
had no
slam multiple
knowledge,
taquitos.
Bro, I had no knowledge of what was going on behind closed doors. I was a lone wolf. I walked into the QT, and, you know, it just spoke to me that day. Little taquito, a little ranch, little monster. It just kind of spoke to me that day, man. There were no violations. I just was helping people.
Jake,
you
cannot recover from your addiction unless you admit that you have an addiction.
Well,
your fecal matter food off the roller at the old QT, which is one of the, again, I still maintain. I say some things on this show.
Kick it with love.
Listen, there are pheromones in those skin cells. Who knows what gets a dude off, right? You know. I'm glad I could help you and your coworkers, man. This is what Michigan does to this show. You know. But look, Jake, I think if you're going to believe that QT's a quality convenience store, it's not. And that you've only eaten off a roller nobody eats roller food once.
Yeah, I learned the lesson, dude. I learned the lesson. You know, it is what it is. We've all done terrible things, right? Right, Sharon? Right, Connor? Right, Jim? I mean, come on.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. You know, it's fine. Chad says, I'm sitting here trying to explain it's a sports show, and they're like, what sports? Exactly. Jake's public Venmo shows he sent at least 5 people to other QT hot rollers to buy taquitos.
That's so well done, dude. You guys know what that's a reference to, right? That's a reference to Connor Stallions, bro. That is really well done, dude. Nice job. Flowers, dude. Nice job.
That was not a cop original Sammy Sam. It was Ted Cruz in disguise.
What did Sammy Sam here? Let's see. Right here.
This is Rand.
Sorry, my bad. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you handle. Go ahead. You're the one that handles the comment section on a regular basis.
Go ahead.
Right?
I was just trying to find it for you, bro.
You're the one that puts the comments
4
up
eyes
every
is
day.
better than 2. You know what I mean?
You know.
Like I was just looking for it. That's all.
This is random. I got extorted in Cancun by a cop. Great start to vacation. Why are you in Mexico?
Yeah. Why are you in Mexico?
Did you not hear about the cartel wars last week or 2 weeks ago?
You're so fucked.
You know, hey, look, there he is. The SEO king of America. SEO is the way. Another day, another Michigan scandal. Who knew? You know. Yeah, go blue from laughing too hard. Yeah, you're going blue. Exactly. Monty Show causing HR problems for listeners. Next, Michigan AD. Exactly. Exactly right.
Can you explain, Chad, like what the listening situation is? Like, are you in a cubicle and people are walking by? Or is it more like you're just sort of in the open and people in the whole office can hear it? Like what's like how many listeners are actually listening right now from your phone?
I was in Kansas City, Marcus says, and went to a QT.
Mm-hmm.
I walked by the roller, and I promise you, I never considered it once. Mm-hmm. They're the most disgusting things. Roller food in convenience stores. I'd eat the sushi first, and I won't ever even eat the sushi at all. What were you thinking, Jake?
Marcus, dude, you're not thinking. It's how we all got fat, dude. You're just enjoying life. You're eating things and doing things and having fun and I've never eaten roller food ever. Not one time. Now, I'm told that 7-Eleven pizza by the slice is amazing. Well, you enjoy that amazing because I will not be. I just
Like, where in your life are you living that you're like, man, that's a keto?
Bro, it's one taquito, dude.
It's shaped like Dan.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm going to throat slam that thing.
Here
like
we
what?
go.
Don't you start questioning all of your decisions in life when you're willing to eat food off of a roller? Now, if you go to Maverick and it's an individually wrapped burrito, or okay, I can get down with the folded sandwich at that's wrapped, or okay.
So we're okay to eat a burrito from a gas station, but not a roller food.
Yeah, because I can tell myself that Carl, the guy that's rolling the burritos in back, he's wearing gloves and stuff. What I can't do is get to the point where Jimmy and all of the concrete guys who are installing the gas station pad down the street rolled up to the QT and dropped their dead Connor Stallion skin cells all over your taquito, and then you throat slam that thing. And now their skin cells are in your intestinal tract. Nah, I'm good with that. No. I'm going to say no. Now, I can't do it. Big Ten Commish Tony P.S. scot-free will never go after Michigan. He's just there to polish their rims, and after every wreck, he really is. He really is. Jake, you just got to grab the burrito from the cooler at 7-Eleven and put it in the microwave.
So it seems
you
like
could
the
do
line
that
in the sand. It seems like the line in the sand is if it's wrapped, and if it's wrapped and not on a roller, it's fine.
Yes.
But if it is on a roller and it's unwrapped, that's not fine.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Jake will never eat off another QT roller after he sharded up his vest.
Yeah, you know.
Was it good? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was actually good. Yeah, honestly, it was. Chicken taquito with some ranch. Elite. Dude, it was, you can't tell me, like, you're willing to eat the mini tacos that are frozen at Costco, but you won't have a taquito. Like, come on.
I love taquitos. When you go to Beto's in South Jordan and you get a bag of taquito, it changes your life.
Yeah, see, look at Sergeant Green's comment, dude. You know, it strengthens your immune system. I agree, dude. I agree, bro. It doesn't. It's, you know, it's good for the soul.
Oh, wow. 7-Eleven taquitos are goated.
It is what it is.
I'm not a big 7-Eleven guy, just generally speaking.
I don't have a good convenience store in Seattle. There are none. None. Everything tastes better when you are high on rock, Jake.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what high on rock is about, but
you think it was chicken, but are you sure?
Hey, maybe it was dog feces. I mean, I don't know, dude. It tasted like chicken.
We have a $10 comment from James.
Here we go.
Hey, you can give me a hard time, but leave QT alone. They donated their old office building to Phillips Seminary, where I got my MDiv. What the fuck? Todd?
Yeah, that's who he was talking to, bro.
Nobody knows what MDiv is. Nobody know, and nobody cares. I don't know what MDiv is. Is that herpes? Is that like a medical term for gonorrhea? MDiv? Hey, I got this MDiv happening. Can I get some cream? Like, what is it? QT is not elite. It's not Maverick. It's not Maverick, and I don't know what an MDiv is, and neither do I care. So do not put it in the comments.
He's already done it. He's already done it. He literally already did it, dude. It's too late. It's too late. I mean, he's already gone on a whole diatribe here about what it is. So, yeah.
Caramel macchiato.
Yes. Yeah. That's the problem. You become a minister with just 2 weeks of classroom work.
Pay that man his money.
All right, go off and serve the word of God. But you got to do 87 hours in the classroom first. All right. And you wonder why your life is about charting. MDiv. Get the... Why? Anyway, every gas station fails in comparison to Wawa. I've heard that. MDiv is the postgraduate demon semen course. Okay.
Demon semen course.
James is that guy. I honestly think James is that guy who's just like, this is the same dude who got his MDiv and was like, yeah, I'm going to go buy wings from the strip club, but I'm not supporting pornography because I didn't go inside. That's what she said. You know,
Stay hard.
Curbside to go. I'm not supporting pornography. The money goes to the strip club to pay the strippers. Well, but I got wings. Speaking of wings, there is a video of Oak State James that we have secured eating a wing. Do we have that video, Jake?
Oh, we should, yes.
You didn't put that video in?
Oh, hold on. I got it. Hang on. Where is it? Right here.
You know,
I don't know why it's not
try on this show.
Hold on, it's right here. Hang on.
To bring you guys happiness. And Jake, on a daily basis, derails that effort.
And we're loading in.
I have a video of somebody just... Look at this video.
Technique. Look at this technique.
Like, who does this? Why?
I have never seen anybody eat a wing like that. Do you guys eat your wings like this? No, I have not. No, I have not.
You have. Dude, you're a guy who likes flats.
Okay.
This is how you eat Dan Lanning's wing. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. What do all these people have in common?
I don't know.
Will you be the judge?
Facial recognition.
This is how James eats his lemon pepper wings at the club. You know, with his celebrating his MDiv. You know.
I'm not too familiar with that.
You're in. Shut it. Like, just stop. Like, just MDiv. Jake eats the bone and all. I've heard that. That's how you eat Dan's duck wings. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But Monty, James is feeling great today since the team he's a fan of beating the team he's a fan of. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. He's having a good day, dude.
Didn't TCU beat Oak State? So now James gets to be a TCU fan today. You know, wings like that probably aren't good. They shouldn't slide off like that. Okay. But see, you're missing the point. Nobody should eat flats. Flats are for losers. Okay. Who eats flats?
Me.
Oak State James eats flats and then cheers for TCU while he's celebrating his MDiv. You know, that's why guys like Jake put on a vest and then go and slurp Dan Lanning wings like that.
With all due respect.
Drums only. That's it, right? That's it. Yeah. MDiv Devo, you know.
MDiv Devo.
Yes, MDiv Devo. Belbit. There you go, Jake.
See what he did there.
Good save. Jake eats gas station flats. He does.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Subhumans eat flats. I totally agree. That's how zombies are born.
The correct nomenclature is betas. Okay.
Well, you are a beta.
Betas.
Are you a beta?
No.
What is a beta? No, Michigan fan, first of all.
Yeah, that's probably a different show. Probably a different show.
Of course they are. Yeah, wings at 7-Eleven.
Dude, of course you would know, dude.
Come on, dude.
Lemon pepper wings, right?
And then you wonder why your
James?
butthole is not happy.
Right, James? Lemon pepper wings. Not at the strip club, though. But even though
not Magic City, but just, you know.
How do you have a master's in devotional yet you're willing to patronize a strip club?
Dude, he's spreading the word.
That's not what he's spreading.
The good word.
No, that's not what he's spreading.
Well, he does have an MDiv, so he's allowed to spread under other things, apparently.
He's not Catholic. Be careful. I don't eat in any place with wing or wings in the title. Oh, you're losing. You're missing out. You're missing out. Wingstop, drumettes, gas. Absolute gas. What?
Mapes' comment there, second from the bottom.
Now, if Magic City had wings in the title, fine. Betas are those cheap fish you buy your 5-year-old when she wants a dog.
You guys still have fish?
Who?
You and Mrs. Monty.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? What's confusing about that? Do you still have fish?
You've been here. You know I don't have a fish tank.
Well, I didn't know if you'd set one up since the last time I was there. I don't know.
Idiot.
Well, maybe go down to Petco, get some betas.
You're trying to cause problems. That's what you're trying to do.
What?
I've gone over 2 weeks. I've gone over 2 weeks with no caffeine and I'm drinking more water. Yes, inspired by Monty. Stop ass kissing, Mr. MDiv.
Yeah, the nose is pretty brown, James. Can't deny it.
Yeah, after he called you Marty McFly. You don't come over here, dude. Go and talk to, an esthetician quarterback guy who's going to save the world.
Go talk to Caramel at Magic City.
Who knew the conversation about stripper names the other day was the actual safe for work conversation compared to today in rims? Well,
Caramel.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's welcome Caramel Macchiato.
Caramel.
Macchiato to the stage. Boys, give her a big round of applause. Okay. Jeremiah Champion's on spring break now.
God, so that means all the Rugrats are out running around. It's spring break. Great.
Dude, it snowed in Seattle yesterday.
And then what did you just tweet this morning? It's going to be like a heat wave next week. Sick.
Yeah. Did you guys see, seriously, before we get back to actually talking sports, which I'm not really that interested in, clearly, the heat wave that is coming to the West is terrifying. If you're one of our great Las Vegas residents, if you're one of our great Arizonans, we have a lot of people in LA and Southern California that listen to this show. The next 10 days is apparently going to be stupid hot. Like, just look at that, you guys.
Bruh.
Incredible. And it's not that far from you, Jake.
No, it's not. We're going to see mid-70s next week, according to the weather app.
We are not here in Seattle. We're going to see like mid-20s and more snow. Like, it's wild. When you start
go in and
about,
say that Salt Lake winter is not going to make a comeback.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. This has been a disaster of a winter season on the West Coast. And you look at this graph, here's where the worst heat is.
Oh.
Look at our friends in Los Angeles, Nevada, Arizona, Utah.
Yeah, I'm good, dude.
New Mexico. It's going to be hot.
And look how far it reaches, too. I mean, you're talking about being
Colorado
across the Mississippi with this heat wave. That's wild, bro.
Well, I don't know where you think the Mississippi is, but this heat wave ain't getting across the Mississippi River.
What do you mean? The yellow band is pretty much to it.
Pretty much to it. It's not across the Mississippi. God. What are you,
like a map expert now?
Yes, I know where the fucking Mississippi River is.
It's in the neighborhood.
No, I haven't seen The Godfather ever. No, not one time. 83 in Pueblo.
Tampering.
85 in DC. Snow today. Yeah. Welcome to the stage, Caramel pecan.
Caramel macchiato.
Don't start with pecans. Don't.
Come on, dude. Are you raising your voice at me?
James, you don't even know what FTR means, nor do you know what an MDiv is.
I know that doesn't give you any frame of reference.
And you didn't say sports bar. That was the cover that you used to hide the, I want to go to the strip club because I want the wings.
The script club.
James, I love that James will say something like, this is classic, my wife is ugly. And then be like, that's not what I said. That's what you said. You would go to the strip club. And you then refine that to say, if they had curbside pickup where I could get the wings. And then when we pointed out, well, you know, if you buy the wings from the strip club on curbside to go, the money goes to the pornography of the strip club.
Oh, didn't think about that, did you?
But that's not where my heart was when I spent that money on those wings.
But money.
You know. And, you know, Jake, if you could.
So let me get this right.
Know
so
your
let me get this right
geography,
for all
that'd be
you
great.
casuals out here. Here's the Mississippi River right here where it jets into Missouri right there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the map.
Yeah.
Right there. It's
Notice
literally right there, bro.
Notice the heat wave never touches the state of Illinois, which
Hell
essentially
outta here,
is the
dude.
border of the Mississippi River. Jake doesn't know where the Mississippi
Okay,
River
let me amend my previous statement. The heat wave damn near reaches the Mississippi River. Sorry, dude, it doesn't
Exactly.
cross it. It just barely reaches it.
That's right. That's right. You know, Marty the cartographer. That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Senator Kennedy's sound drop. Who would have ever thought?
Caramel macchiato.
Macchiato. You know, don't forget Drew, an esthetician, now the starting quarterback at Oak State. FTR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Exactly. James, do you have to go to confessional every time you go eat those strip club wings? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Exactly. You know, Timothy, you cannot avoid this. You need to talk about AJ. AJ Hawk, the former football player. What happened to AJ Hawk?
You're getting dangerously close to talking about Pat McAfee, and I'm not here for it.
What did Pat McAfee do to you now? He
Nothing. There's just
single-handedly caused a hillbilly slaughter and you avoiding it like it's Deneria.
Bro,
It's
what
March
are you
Madness.
talking about?
Again, you need to stop smoking weed. Somebody tell Dora to pass the map over to Boots in his new vest. Jake, you're taking some for the Mississippi River take. But
Okay, whatever, dude. Map,
You know.
the map clearly shows the point I was making is reasonably accurate.
no, it's not. You
Yeah, it
said
is.
across the Mississippi River. Look, I'm your father. I failed you. And you can't fix stupid. So,
I know that doesn't give you any frame of reference.
it really doesn't give you a frame. It's not my fault you don't know how to dial up
Dude.
The Godfather or Scarface.
What are you gonna do? What are you guys gonna do when one day you guys
Jake
don't
learns
have this
geography?
outlet to rip me over a map? What's gonna happen, dude?
Not
like-
be mystified by Jake's geographic struggles?
Like, come
Well,
on,
listen,
bro.